Thank you. I have a coffee delivery. Kenny brought me a coffee from Costco. It's the caramel, whatever, frozen coffee. All right, so that is going to be our coffee for today while we work on our mystery pick blanket. Hello, sweet friends. It's Sarah at Crochet.With.Coffee, and thank you so much for joining me for another WIP Wednesday. Today, we are going to be starting our tiles for our Persian Tile Blanket. We get to start a new pattern today. Don't you guys love new pattern days? And I have this nice crisp off the printer pattern. Gorgeous. So we are going to be doing the Persian Tile Blanket mystery picks for this. So this is not a tutorial because Janie Crow has all of that available for you. I have that linked in the description. So go ahead and check all of that out if you want to make this blanket. What we're going to do is just do our mystery picks for this blanket together. I am going to change up the materials a little bit. So this pattern calls for DK weight yarn. I'm going to be using medium for worsted weight yarn, and she has 3 different hook sizes listed in here. So she has a 3.5 millimeter, a 4 millimeter, and a 4.5 millimeter. I'm going to be using the hook sizes that go along with the yarn that I am using. So I'm going to be using a 5.5 millimeter and a 5 millimeter for this blanket, and just sizing down when it says to size down. So I'm primarily going to be using the 5.5 and then size down when the instructions say to use a smaller size. The largest size is for seaming up the tiles when you attach them all at the end. But I might end up using a 5.5 for that too. I really don't know, because I would have to go up to a 6 millimeter. So I'll just feel it out and see what I want to do at that point. But that is how we're going to be starting. And we are just going to be doing our mystery picks. I have all of our colors set up on these little cards, and we are going to be doing our picks this way, so I know what row is what. I'm going to be doing 1 color per row, except for the outside of each tile. That one is going to be a set color for every tile. And that has, I transferred all of my yarn into a pretty basket, but that is going to be mostly this one on the outside. So if you see the picture of the pattern has a dark blue and white. So this is going to be in place of the dark blue, and this green is going to be in place of the white. But those colors are also going to be mixed within the tiles. I'm so excited to start these tiles with you. So there are 16 octagons in this blanket. It's a square blanket. Obviously, if you want to do a different size, you could do that, but you have to adjust the way that the pattern is laid out, and it wouldn't be exactly to what she has written here. So I'm sure if you would like to figure that out, you could add more tiles and make it a rectangle blanket instead of a square, but that would be something you'd have to figure out. But this pattern is 16 squares, and then it has 9 of those really pretty square, so 16 octagons, 9 full squares. Then there are 4 corner squares, so those are a quarter of a square, so like a quarter of this. And then there are 12 half squares. So those are all listed in the pattern, and I'm just going to group some squares and some octagons together as we do this. So each week is going to be a mixture of both. So today, what I'm going to do is 1 octagon, and we are doing 4 corner squares. So that is a quarter of a square. So we're going to do 4 quarters and 1 octagon. And let's start on our color picks. I want to start on the octagon because I'm really excited to get started on that. So I have my hook I'm going to be using. And the first time opening a pattern to use it, it's just the best. All right, so got my pattern. So the octagon, the first color of our octagon is going to be this toffee color. All right, so we're gonna get started on toffee. I'm gonna put my picks back in this. I'm gonna put it in this bowl and I'll put them back in as we need them. All right, so my toffee color. And I normally start my stuff with a magic ring, but this is starting with a chain ring. I can't wait to see all of these together. It is gonna be so pretty. You know what I typically do with my squares and everything too is I make all the centers first and then all the next row and then all the next row. The last time I made this blanket, that's what I did. And it's going to take a lot of self-control to not do that because I like to get things done in sections like that. And then also that means I need to read the pattern less, because if I do round one like 2 or 3 times, then I have it down. And then I can just make all of them at once. And then I read round 2 and I do all of that at once. And, you know, it just really seems to work better for me. I'd love to know what you guys do typically if you're doing like color changes for each row. So that would be fun to see what you guys are up to. I was working on, I finished my mom's sweater. I'll tell you guys more about that on Monday. I finally got that down. Knitting is one of those things I am so slow at it. It takes me like 5 years to do anything that I could do in a couple days with crocheting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. All right. So round 1 is done. And get my scissors. I really think that I want to do all of my ends together at the end. And then maybe we can just have like a chill and chat while I tie in ends, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay. Round 1. Next color. Okay, so the reason I am picking and putting it in the bowl is because I don't want to repick a color and have it be right next to each other. So that's why I'm doing that separately and just putting them in a bowl. Ivory. Color number 2. Ivory. But yeah, it takes me forever to do my knitting. And I'm knitting with worsted weight, like 4 worsted weight yarn. And some are using like way thinner. I don't know how people have the patience to do that. And I get such a hype out of finishing a project and getting ready to start a new one. So that's always exciting, because when I start a new project and I already have something going, or I have so many things that need to get finished, it's like a false hype, and it wears off way faster. If I don't stop chatting, I'm not going to get this done at all. Let's see. Row 2 done. All right, and color number 3. Rust. That's the lighter orange that we have. The darker orange is cinnamon. Three. Okay. Number 4. Chocolate brown. All right, row 4 complete. I'm excited to see what color combinations we get with this because I know I'm gonna see something that I want to make into granny squares, and this is pretty close to one that I would like to recreate as a granny square. Love these colors together. All right, pick number 5, right? 5? Yes, pick 5. Wine. Ooh, a little red on here. This is fun. Oh, and I forgot to tell you guys, I am wearing a shirt that has Crochet with Coffee on it. My friend over at So Ready Embroidery made these for me. And she has this awesome shop. She does embroidery, she does vinyl. I would absolutely recommend going and checking her out. I'll put all of her stuff in the description of where you can find her. So she's got really cute stuff. Let me move this. I think I'm there. Chopping off the top of my head. Okay. Let me get this started. I'll show you what I get in a second. Okay, all done with row 5. Do we love it? I'm testing out to see if a 5mm is going to work better. I was holding my tension a lot tighter than I wanted to get the stitch shape that I wanted. So this one was done with a 5.5 and this is done with a 5. I like the tidiness of the 5mm instead of the 5.5mm. And this center I did really tight with a 5.5 because I really typically have some pretty loose tension. So I moved mine down. I think the main portion of my blanket is going to end up being a 5mm instead of a 5.5 like I originally thought. So that's what I am going with. So that last row, or the row 4, was just a little too loose for my liking. So that's why I'm going to change it up. I'm not going to redo that row, just leaving it as is. All right, so 5mm is what I'm going to be using. And then I'll feel it out if I need to go down a size. I would end up going down to a 4.5mm if I need to size down, like the pattern is suggesting. Or maybe I'll just crochet tighter. We'll see. All right, pick 6. Cinnamon. All right, color cinnamon. This is the dark orange color. Oh yes, look at that beauty right there. I love it. All right, pick number 7. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. All right, pick 7. Mustard. Saving my favorite for last, I guess. Okay. Oh, you see? She was hiding on my lap, and now she's gonna turn around 5 times. Can you hear her purring? Okay. Row number 7. All right, I gotta focus on these instructions. I need to make sense of it. So anyway, before, and I'll show you the after. All right, we are done with row 7. Liking it. Some good colors. All right, you know what it is because it's what's left in the jar. Row 8. Green apple, my favorite. Okay, green apple. Let's see. This is why I like to do all the, like, row 1, row 2, row 3, all of those together, because then I get so lost in the pattern. Okay, so this section is calling for a smaller hook. I'm gonna try it with my same 5mm and see how it goes. And if I need to size down, then I'll go get a 4.5mm hook. But we are working on the little fan pieces. And so this row technically has 2 colors. It's just made in 2 different parts. So I'm gonna start on this. I'll show you with the green apple what it looks like for the fans, because there's 4 fans in what's going to be the green apple, and I'll meet back with you when we're going to do our next pin. Let me start on that, and I'll show you an update as we go. All right, that section is done. We've got our little fans here in the green. I like it. Okay, now what we need to do is put all of these colors back in the jar, but I know I told you guys I want to tally them up. So we're gonna tally them before I put them back in the jar. Oh yeah, and I am keeping out, so the last color I picked, which I'm already going to keep out anyways because that is part of my border. So I'm keeping both border colors out, but because it was the last one that I used too, I'm only keeping out the 2 border colors. So let's see. Keeping out these 2, green apple and cinnamon. So I'm going to mark them both and then put them back in the bowl. And everything else gets 1 tally. And back in the jar. Okay, so now I have 6 colors in here. 6 colors. So for my second fan is going to be my wine color. So I'm going to pop that on real quick, and I will show you what it's looking like after I get that attached. Did I do them on the right? I put some, hold on. Wait a second. This fan is on the wrong spot. This one is supposed to be in between those little whatever those are. This one needs to get moved over here. Yep, it's off. So I'm gonna move that. It's a good thing I didn't weave in my ends, right? Right? Look at that chaos. Okay, I'm gonna move that, and then I'm gonna add the wine fans, and I'll meet back with you when I'm done with that. All right, we're ready for our next pick. Get this. That's what we got. Next pick. This is gonna attach them all down. Toffee. Let's add this. I'll be right back. All right, that row is complete. I'm gonna do another pick. This is for row 9. All right, row 9. It's the color rust. Okay, here's our update. Ooh. Do you love it? I love it. Okay, so here's the deal. I just finished row 9, this one, but it is the 11th color because the 2 fans are not counted in or as rows, and I didn't realize that. I was just reading what it said. So we do have 11 colors. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we are done with our 11 picks here. And I'm going to put the border or the remainder rows on it that are always going to be the cinnamon and the apple green color. I'm going to do that off camera because we are always going to know what those are. And I'll show you at the end of the video what that looks like, but we still have 4 more quarter squares to pick colors for. So I'm going to put this over here for now. I'm going to finish it in just a second, and we're going to do our square color picks. So I need to see how many colors I need for that one really quick. All right, so I'm going to need 4 colors, and I have 4 squares. So let's start on square number 1. I am going to mark these really quick. And for the squares, I am not adding in the outside colors because it's such a small amount of colors. 1, 2, 3, 4 colors before the outside. The remainder 3 colors that are the trim colors. So I'm not going to add those back in to the pot here. But I'm going to mark these that I picked these 3 colors for the remaining 3 rows of our octagon. Now they're going to go back in here, and I'm just going to pick all the colors for the first square together. So I have row number 1, row number 2, row 3, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to count multiple times. And toffee. Okay, so we have mustard, ivory, wine, toffee. So that's the 4. I'm going to get that started. I'll show you what that looks like in just a second, and then we will pick our next colors for our other 3 squares. So let's get started on the first one. first corner finished. This looks like a sunny side up egg to me. Those first 2 rows. I don't know, that's the first thing I thought of. I don't know why. But all right, especially like when it didn't by itself, but then when I added the red, it looked like that to me. Why? I don't know. It's weird. All right, I'm gonna mark our tally on the cards. I'm gonna toss them back into the jar. And we're gonna do another 4 picks for our second corner square. Okay, we have wine, but I don't know what. Okay, rust, toffee, and one more, mustard. All right, let's get this one done. I'll show you what it looks like in just a second. All right, here is corner number 2. Cute. All right, I'm gonna mark these with our tallies and put them back in the jar for pick number. Could you hear that? That was my dog using a Hobby Lobby bag as a pillow. I'll try to get a picture of it if I can. All right, pick number, or corner square number 3. Toffee. Wine. Ivory. One more. Rust. All right, let's get that one. Corner number 3. Love it. Some good colors right there. All right, I'm gonna mark these. All right, we have 5 of toffee, 5 of wine. Those are our most used colors so far. All right, 4 colors. Ivory. Mustard. Chocolate? We haven't had chocolate in a corner yet. We had like the same colors for those first 3. And wine. And we still have 2. Yeah, look at these. We had 1, 2, and 3. They're all the same colors, right? For the most part. All right, let's get this one started. I'm going to complete this one, and then I'm going to start putting borders on it. So I'll show you that one when it has a border on it. We're going to get going and see how all of these look at the end. All right, we are all done with our 4 square corners, or 4 quarter squares for the corners of the blanket, and our 1 octagon. So let me show you final Do you love it? I love it. And I have to feed somebody that's very hungry. Can you hear her? She's very hungry. It's her dinner time and she's impatient with me right now. Look at that. Beautiful. Love it. Okay, so then in not the exact order that we picked, I'm just going to show them to you randomly because I dropped them and got them out of order. So we've got this one. Hungry? All right. This one. This one. That one's my favorite. And I don't remember what one I showed you. Like all these tails. I don't know when I'm gonna weave these in. I might try to get them done before next week so that I can show you all nice and tidy. But I think that this one was a success. I really enjoyed the process and the picks. I am very happy with the result. I love that my favorite green color ended up in there a couple times. Love it. All right, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for joining me for our first WIP Wednesday for our Persian Tile Blanket mystery pick colors. And I can't wait till next week, and I hope you join me then. If you had fun with me today, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you have not already subscribed, you can hit that subscribe button so that you can stay tuned for our next week's picks. I also post on Mondays and Fridays, so stay tuned for the things that we're going to be doing on those days as well. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you find joy in the little things.